What's up, everybody? Simon here. Today I wanted to go ahead and discuss something that's often asked on my channel and often something that is brought around us in the investing world. It's cryptocurrency. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other coins such as XRP, Litecoin, Stellar Lumens. There are so many out there. So cryptocurrency is going to be the topic of this video. I'll let you know if I invest in cryptocurrency, my thoughts on it, and whether or not you should potentially consider it. So before I go into this video, go ahead, destroy that like button for me, comment below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get into this video. Bitcoin was created by Satoshi Nakamoto. This Japanese individual basically figured out a way or decided to solve a problem in the world, which is the regulation of banks. And he did so by creating a Bitcoin that can hide your identity. At the same time, the banks cannot regulate it. You don't need a bank account. Basically, it's a digital bank account that you could open up without letting anyone regulate that money. Because of this type of currency, it has become extremely popular in the criminal underworld. So the deep web or the dark web, you have a lot of individuals that exchange or engage in criminal activity. I've read on the internet from drugs, prostitution, murder for hires, to anything in between in these underworlds. And they pay through Bitcoin, believe it or not, because you can't track it or trace it, and it's guaranteed money. Recently, Bitcoin has shot through the roof, guys. It has gone up past $40,000. Today, as of 1/12, it's at $35,000, so it's come down a bit. But other coins such as Stellar Lumen, Ethereum, and so forth, pretty much any coin within a month has either doubled, tripled, or went even higher. So a lot of coins that are being traded on popular exchanges such as Coinbase are doing really well. It's an interesting concept. It's very volatile. So if you get in at the right time, you could exit at the right time. You're going to make a lot of money. And Bitcoin has made a lot of millionaires and billionaires out there. I've read stories of people buying $25 million islands on Bitcoins. I've read stories of people basically buying Lamborghinis and Ferraris and houses and gold chains and exotic watches and so forth. So you could definitely make a lot of money. The government considers a Bitcoin just like a stock, a short-term stock. So when you do cash out that money and you deposit it, say, in your bank account, you're pretty much going to have to pay capital gains on it. A lot of people are trying to use Bitcoin and buy stuff with Bitcoins without putting it into your bank account so they don't pay the taxes. The structure of Bitcoin basically allowed several different computers to authenticate if this Bitcoin is valid. And all these computers around the world that agree to this structure are able to partake in what Bitcoin is. It confirms the accuracy of the transactions without even knowing the password or the individual sending or receiving the money itself. Now, I don't know if the government is able to track Bitcoins at this point, but several governments and countries have accepted Bitcoin as a form of currency. Personally, I've had friends that had Bitcoins before the first wave, before the $10,000 mark, I would say 2-3 years ago. And some of these friends actually made so much money off Bitcoin that they were able to buy houses here in the Bay Area. And we're talking $500,000 to $1 million to $2 million and so on. So they got in early and they did really well. They ran that train all the way to the finish line and cashed out at the right time and made a lot of money. And then I'm sure they bought back in. Personally, for me, I have not had as much luck with Bitcoin because it's so volatile. I think if you're going to be investing in Bitcoin, you're going to need to make sure you're managing that Bitcoin all the time. You got to read up on the trends. Unlike a company that's in the stock market or in the index or anywhere that's traditional investing, Bitcoin is very volatile, or cryptocurrency, I should say, it's very volatile. So it's going to go up any instant, it's going to go down any instant, and it seems like there's no day off. So it's not like the stock market opens on a certain time and day and it closes, and typically you see a lot of tangible goods or companies behind the inflation of the price. So with Bitcoin, it's really difficult to determine whether or not it's going to go up. I think it's gone up past $40,000 because there's a new president. There's a potential of devaluation for the US dollar because the government has printed so much money. So what's going to happen to all that money? It's going to be a hyperinflation. Your house typically is not going to cost 2.5 million anymore. It's going to cost, 2.8 million or $3 million because so much money is floating around. People are getting paid more to keep up with that valuation as well. So eventually the US dollar could potentially decline, whereas Bitcoin is only limited to a certain amount of coins. And because of that, I feel like the Bitcoin has been going up, and because of the new government transition as well for the new president and so forth. So Bitcoin has climbed because potentially the stock market or the dollar, it may be going down. And Bitcoin, when the dollar goes down, the Bitcoin goes up because it becomes a higher achievable commodity. And now with a lot of more companies accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment for houses, cars, and so forth, it's becoming very interesting. I actually read a funny story today about an individual that received over 7,000 Bitcoins in 2001 or so because he helped create an explainer video for what Bitcoin is for somebody.
What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the first decentralized digital currency. Bitcoins are digital coins you can send through the internet.
And his form of payment, someone gave him 7,000 Bitcoins. 7,000 Bitcoins at $40,000. Let's just do the math here. It's somewhere 280 million. Wow, that's a lot of zeros. Let's see. Yeah, 280 million.
George here.
7 years.
Yeah. Now you are signing, I noticed, and what does that tell us?
That means he's deaf.
Crazy. So someone gave some guy 7,000 Bitcoins for value today at say 280 million or so dollars. And this individual lost the key or the password to the Bitcoins with only 2 remaining password options because before those Bitcoins get redistributed or they disappear. So apparently when you would receive a Bitcoin before the Coinbase or anything like that, you had a very specific password key that no other computer knows about, that no other individual knows about. That's how you protect that Bitcoin so no one can hack your Bitcoin. This individual lost that password, and every night he's been going to bed thinking what the password could be, and he gets 10 attempts to enter into the Bitcoin or sell it or unlock the Bitcoins that he has. Currently, he has 2 password options left before those 7,000 Bitcoins are terminated, and he will never get access to his $200+ million account. Can you believe that? He says he's not sleeping. He can't do anything about it. This is kind of a funny story, and he only has 2 attempts left to figure out what password he used to unlock the Bitcoins. He tried every other password 8 times he could think of, but with only 10 options, he might be screwed. The Winklevoss Twins are 2 of the most popular Bitcoin billionaires. They were also helping Mark Zuckerberg fund Facebook back in the day, and then they found out or learned about Bitcoin and became billionaires. There's a lot of people that have that money, and today at $35,000 or $40,000, I personally would pass on Bitcoin. The reason is I don't know how much higher it would go, and it's too volatile. I feel like you missed that wave to double your money, which was only about a month ago when Bitcoin was at around $20,000. In fact, Bitcoin within the last month and a half to 2 months went from about $10,000 all the way up to the $40,000+ mark. That's incredible. However, how much higher could it go? I don't know. I think if the US dollar continues to tank or does tank, Bitcoin is going to go even higher, maybe up to the $100,000 mark per Bitcoin. It's very doable. So at that point, you'll be able to maybe potentially double or triple your money again. That's a far stretch. However, it is possible. If it does go up that high, that's amazing. I don't know what to say, but there are other coins you should consider. Ethereum has a good platform. XRP, for example, in cryptocurrency recently got caught for fraud allegations. And Bitcoin is almost on that borderline of a scheme. So to me, it's not a solid investment to get rich personally, and that's why I am unlucky with that. I wish I had it easy, but I don't.
I work hard for the money, so hard for the money. Oh, I something money, come on, give me lots of money.
Now there's an employee, Smithers. A smile on his lips and a song in his heart. Promote him.
So I have tried to stay away from Bitcoin and more invested in things that have some tangible resource behind it. Gold and silver, for example, are great investments right now as well. But Bitcoin, if that's your thing, take a look at it. I still feel sorry for that one individual that lost a lot of potential money if he does not figure out his 2 passwords. Now, can you imagine if he entered one more password after really thinking this through, and he entered one passcode? He only has one left to claim 200 something million. This is like a game show. I would be freaking out and not sleeping. So anyway, guys, Bitcoin, my advice is I would probably stay away unless I know the market trend very well. I know when it's going to go down, when it's going to go up a little bit, and ride that wave properly. If you are not by your computer constantly watching that investment of Bitcoin, you're potentially not going to make a lot of money. With Bitcoin and like other things, if you're going to invest, understand that you might lose that money. It's almost like letting your friend borrow money. When you let your friend borrow money, consider that money lost because they probably won't pay you back. Same with Bitcoin. If you have $5,000 to invest in Bitcoin, it could be a potentially good investment. However, that $5,000, you might lose your shirt. So be careful. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. That's my take on Bitcoin reaching its highest peaks this month and on cryptocurrency. If you like this video, please go ahead, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. As always, I appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys here in the next video. Thank you.